I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do.
Before this hearing even starts, notice the judge repeating, "I know what I'm going to do." That's not a warm-up, that's a warning. When a judge telegraphs frustration this early, you already know the defendant's history is about to explode in the courtroom.
Here's what I'm going to do. When you show up to court, good things happen. When you don't show up, you now know what happens. You will now be dealing with this lifelong consequence as a result of your failure to come to court. You are now pleading guilty to this DWI. It will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. With your record, you have 2 suspended license cases. Now you have a DWI going on your record. When you get pulled over, what do you think an officer is going to do to you? They're going to harass.
Quick question for you watching. If you already had 2 suspended licenses and a new DWI, would you expect a judge to go easy on you? Because this judge is setting the tone. Every past mistake now stacks like dominoes.
The hell out of you. Every single time you get pulled over, don't matter what you're doing, I don't care if you're going to church, planting tulips, whatever, you will get harassed. And even if you have the faintest smell of alcohol or dope, you will be charged with a second offense. What we're doing today will not happen again. You will be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. And if you're not smart enough to consider how to get home on a night of drinking or smoking or whatever, you will be doing a lot of time in jail. Do you understand? You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering in today's agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. Any prior DWIs?
Yes, Your Honor, it was actually dismissal out of Hidalgo County complaint, I think.
Anything else?
That's not right. A lot of driving without license suspended.
How many you got?
Here's something important. Picking up a new DWI while already on bond for a previous DWI is one of the biggest red flags in criminal court. Judges see it as proof you can't follow orders, which usually kills any chance of leniency.
I see 2 here. Does he have more?
Yes, Your Honor, out of county. Give me a second. Yeah.
Jason, I don't know, man. You know, when was that DWI dismissed?
2019, Your Honor. There's one.
So he had that DWI. He picked up this DWI while he was on bond for that DWI.
I understand, Judge. I mean, the problem is I think he works in Florida. Is that correct? So that's part of it. Well, I mean, I'm saying like part of the problem with getting to court is that he works in another state. And I understand he's got to be here. He knows he's got to be here. But
we waive appearances for everyone. There's no excuse. No excuse. I can't in good conscience. When your case is 1,500 days old and you have a prior DWI that you picked up while this other DWI, why would I give you this kind of gift? No, I'm sorry. And then you have 2 prior suspended license cases here.
One in Stockton and one in Hidalgo County.
2 more suspended license cases. It's not, I don't think so, Mr. Sanchez. You know, I think that if I were to take a time served, I would be enabling your behaviors, telling you that it's okay when it's not.
Listen closely. This is where the judge starts weighing punishment versus enabling. Judges hate the idea of rewarding someone who's dodged court for years. This moment right here, it's where the judge decides mercy isn't on the table.
You know, we can go back, we can work something else out. If you do maybe like 20, I'm okay with that. You know, where he probably would have just a weekend, something like that. But I can't, Mr. Sanchez, in good conscience, take this. I can't reward you for having 2 open DWIs simultaneously and then taking off on us for 3 years, 4 years.
how much credit he's got?
It's 6 days credit.
6 days?
Yeah, 6 days credit. 3 for 6.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd still be the same thing anyways. You really have 6 days credit.
6 days credit.
I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. You will be required to pay every court cost that will be assigned to you today, which is a lot. And if you don't pay it, you will go to jail. For every $100, it's a day in jail. How much is it going to owe? With the DWI, it's going to be what, $3,000, right?
If you're including the DWI track.
Correct. Yeah.
100, and could be 3,600.
Yep. That's what's going to happen today. So if you don't pay the court costs and the DPS fines and fees, you will go to jail. You're being assessed now over $3,000 in fees.
Pause for a second. Every $100 equals 1 full day in jail. That means failing to pay the $3,600 could mean over a month behind bars. This is the judge using financial pressure as a substitute for jail time, a tactic often used when the goal is accountability over incarceration.
So if you fail to pay, every $100 is a day in jail. So you can imagine how much jail time it is if you fail to pay. I am also going to suspend your license for a year. I'm not putting you in jail now, but you know what's expected of you. And if you fail to pay, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Sometimes you hit someone even harder in the pocketbook than when you do with a little bit of jail time. We'll see how it goes now, because if you don't pay, imagine. It's a lot of time in
How
custody.
much time we have to pay the,
I don't expect them to pay it all up front now, but I'm going to put them on a payment plan,
okay.
you know?
Sort of make
But I'm
sure.
going to tell you, if you try to jet on me, I will remember, because I will make notations as to this right now about how many DWIs, how many suspended license cases you have, so that if you flake on us and don't pay it, for the $3,400 that's owed and doing, it's $100 for every single day. Mr. Sanchez, you give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never come back and change this, challenge this, undo this. Do you understand? How do you plead to the charge of driving while intoxicated?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 6 days that you've done. How much is total of everything?
3,600.
$3,600 is what is due and owing that you will pay. Let me give you a piece of advice, Mr. Sanchez. The worst possible thing you can do in this life is drive. Because if I catch you driving and you pick up a new case in this court, because I will have jurisdiction over you for the next 5 years. If I catch you in a car driving, I'm going to light you up. Do you understand?
Thanks, John.
All right. Good luck to you.
Guessing they'll get credit for court costs?
No.
This is the turning point. Instead of jail, the judge gives a strict 2-year payment plan. Here's the real question. Is this a second chance or one last warning before the hammer drops? What would you have done in the judge's
Yeah,
position?
he'll be responsible for all the court costs. Correct. Yeah. And then, so what kind of payment plan do they do down there?
I'm not really familiar with that. Usually they'll going off of what his financials are, we can work it out with them down there. I just know that he just has to go down.
Hey, Vic, when they put people on a payment plan downstairs, how long do they give typically?
I'm not sure, Judge. I think they take the consideration.
Can we dictate how long?
I've seen the years,
We did.
and they're allowed to request extensions. But it has to go through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do an extension. Once we do the payment plan now, you will be expected to live up to it, right? So could we do perhaps like a year, 2 years?
I think Trey can put it in.
Yeah, I can put it on the notes.
Talk to
He's gonna have to bring it
Okay.
down.
Judge wants 1 year.
What do you do for a living?
I work for Hilton.
How much money do you make a month?
About $2,600 a month.
Boston, take your hat off.
Okay, I don't want to kill you, right? But I want you to pay. So what I will do is I will put you on a 2-year payment plan. So it'll cost you $150 a month. If you don't pay it, every $100 is a day in jail. So you can imagine how much time you'll do on the $3,600 bill.